in which Scarlett has lighting issues.
Buddha, Brenda, Jessica, Susan, Scarlett, Buddha, papira, papa, scratadadidadada. Collab of awesome.
So it's kind of late because I didn't get a chance to film this earlier, and you can't see it from where you are, but I don't have a light in my ceiling fan because it broke, so I have a desk lamp, and it sucks. But do order at Starbucks for the peppermint hot chocolate because it's amazing. One thing in my closet I cannot live without. There's an awful lot of running to do. One thing nobody knows really about me, I don't know. You guys know I'm going to London, and all that other stuff. I really like going to the Renaissance Fair, and when I go, I dress like Morgana from Merlin. Is that a thing? You're gonna need to see the cloak, aren't you? Oh, but it's fine. There, are you happy? In the words of Susan, is this good enough for you people? One thing I want to do before I die is just have the full circle of being published. I want it to be well received in some form or another. I don't care if it's 10 people or 1,000,000 people, and I want fan fiction, and I want people to just be like, this means something to me, and that would be really beautiful. One food I can't live without. Can I say Wawa? Is that food? It's not. I'm going to say cheesesteaks from, Tony Luke's, because it's my favorite. A quote that I live my life by, I have two. I think Jessica said one of them, what a treacherous thing to believe that a person is more than a person. I tried to do because it's really easy when you admire a celebrity or someone to like build them up in your head, and they're just a person with a talent, and they're capitalizing on that talent, and they're just human. So we need to think of them as just people with feelings too. That's the most important thing. And the other one is a Lemony Snicket quote, and I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but first impressions are often entirely wrong. And everybody always says, like, make a good first impression, and while that can be important, I think sometimes we have to remember that there's more to a person than, like, that first time you met them and they kind of gave you a bad vibe. I like in the YouTube community that it's given me this big group, this community of Nerdfighteria and just the YouTube community in general to find all this great content and meet people and have this kind of creative outlet. But I really dislike the anonymity, like Susan said, and the misogynistic side of it especially. Because maybe you don't like somebody's video, but it's not okay to leave in the comments how ugly they are, or how disgusting a human being they are, or that you want to kill them. That's not okay. You don't fight fire with fire. And really, it just makes you just as bad as whatever you think you're trying to combat. What is your number one most listened to song on iTunes? That is a good question. It turns out it is Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie with 275 plays. What kind of style would you define yourself as having? I'm really into, like, vintage stuff. Circa, like, 1950s is really my favorite. Favorite number 4, 2 hobbies. Well, I obviously like to write. It's probably my number one hobby. I do it often. I like, in my spare time, to do research on colonial America. Is that weird? I'm just a really, really, really big fan of Ben Franklin. 2 pet peeves. One, when people assume that I, or anyone for that matter, have worn makeup or an item of clothing for their benefit. Maybe you think that that dress I was wearing looked like couch material, or maybe you think that my shoes were horrendous, or maybe, lady in Wawa, you thought my eye makeup looked terrible. Well, I'm sorry to inform you that I like it and I didn't wear it for you, so you're going to need to get over it. Second, people who make trouble just for the sake of making trouble. What do you hope to accomplish by causing other people pain and drama and stress? That's not cool. It doesn't make you an awesome person because you made these 2 people fight. That makes you the biggest jerk in the whole world. A guilty pleasure? Susan was right. Also buying every couplet of Hamlet I can get my hands on because this one is pretty. I have a problem. This is for Susan.
Ladies,